You're listening to Podcasting Up an Octave, a podcast by Sonivia, the podcasting agency that believes that women and queer people deserve to take up space in the podcasting industry because our thoughts, voices, and stories matter. Here you'll learn how to make a dope podcast that inspires, educates, converts, and most importantly, makes your voice shine. I'm your host, Rue Spence, and I'm here to take podcasting up an octave. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to Podcasting Up an Octave. These last few weeks have been a lot, and that's me coming to you as a person with privilege. So these last few weeks have been unspeakably dark for a lot of humans in this country, and I'm feeling absolutely freaking spent right now with trying to manage grieving everything that's happening with this new administration and just all the things in my day-to-day life. Like the Cheerio fetching has not stopped just because of this new administration. Neither has the laundry, neither have the dishes. And the brain fog is really real. The creative blocks are blocking. But even with that, the podcast is running like clockwork, and my clients are still getting the best work that I have to offer. And I have AI to thank for that. I'm kicking off a month-long series on using AI for your podcast because my course is launching on the 21st. I'm beyond excited about that, but how I talk about this and how I think about this has changed so much over the past few weeks. I've been so fired up to be offering something that makes life a little bit easier for podcasters, but now I'm seeing it as something that helps free up time and mental energy to focus on the really important things without compromising your work and goals. Just because things are terrible and bleak right now does not mean that you need to sacrifice your personal growth. And in fact, I think we have an even bigger obligation to keep striving towards making our own goals a reality, because I think that that is how we will continue to achieve forward progress on a bigger scale. There are days that even forming a coherent thought has felt out of reach, and trying to keep up with content feels out of the question. I'm hearing this from my clients, and I'm also hearing this in the content that I'm consuming, and I'm feeling it too. I want to teach you in this next month and in my course how to use AI to keep your podcast from falling to the back burner. If using your voice feels like how you can show up in this era, please, please, please keep using it. But don't allow yourself to get burned out in the process. AI is helping keep my show and TBH, my business, healthy by showing up for me even when I'm struggling to fully show up for myself. Now more than ever, our voices, our stories matter. And if you're feeling exhausted like me, AI can help you keep your voice loud, your content clear, and your podcast consistent by letting you focus on what really matters. So let's get into it. The biggest pushback that I hear from creators who are reticent to start using AI is that it's going to replace us or that it's going to make things feel really canned. I don't believe in letting AI do all the heavy lifting and letting it take over your show. It shouldn't feel like it's replacing you. AI should feel like it's freeing you so that you can focus on the parts of podcasting that actually light you up and let it take on the burden of the things that don't feel so good. One of the biggest things that I use AI for is to brainstorm episode ideas. Like I mentioned, I have had so much brain fog and just creative blocks lately that not ever having to stare at a blank page and getting that like cursor just blinking at you has felt honestly so soothing that I use it to brainstorm episode ideas, to generate fresh, relevant topics for my show in just a few seconds. It also has made outlining so much faster for me that once I do have an episode idea, it helps me to structure my episode frameworks in a way that makes sense and let me then flesh them out without feeling like A, it's doing the work for me, or B, like I'm just kind of in the wind a little bit. AI can also help you predict what your audience wants by analyzing trends so that you are constantly creating content that your audience is craving instead of just guessing and then having episodes flop. Our time matters so much now more than ever that wasting it on something that's not going to resonate is not a productive use of our time. You are now able to plan out 3 months worth of content in one afternoon because AI is helping you and is in your back pocket to do some of that work with you. Inside my course, I've spent a lot of time focusing on how you can train AI to think like you so that your ideas feel like you, so that your show never feels like you're diving in and making a splash. You are going to keep your show feeling like you. You keep that special you-ness, but you do it so much faster. I also believe that AI is a way forward for podcast growth and promotion. I think it makes it easier to reach more people with less effort. I'm a huge fan of using it for SEO-optimized show notes. It can help you boost your searchability to make sure that your content gets found. Again, we are not in a season of wasting time. Your show needs to connect with its people, and it needs to do it in a way that feels easy and streamlined for you. I'm also a huge fan of using AI for done-for-you transcription. You do have to babysit this a little bit, especially if you're using words or you have a dialect that things like Descript struggle with. But aside from that little bit of coaching and babysitting, AI can instantly transcribe your episodes to not only make sure that your show notes are top tier, but that your show is accessible for all. A transcribed episode becomes consumable to deaf or hard of hearing people and translatable to put it into the reach of listeners who may have a language barrier. AI also makes social media a breeze. And if you're someone who doesn't love social media and especially right now isn't feeling like that's a productive place to spend your time, AI can generate your post ideas, your captions, and even create email newsletters and blog posts for you. Again, I don't ever advise, and it's not something I'm teaching in my course, to just let AI spit out stuff that you're then going to automatically throw up onto your website or onto your Instagram or into your show notes. But it does take the framework and the guessing out of it to then let you inject your magic by just augmenting it instead of creating something from scratch, especially something that doesn't have to feel like it's a personal love letter. You know, your show notes don't ever have to feel like the first 6 paragraphs of a recipe where they're like, I came up with this recipe for jarred spaghetti after spending a summer in Tuscany. Like, we don't need that in your show notes. Your show notes are there to be SEO optimized to help people connect with your show. That's it. Point blank, period. You can go from spending hours on marketing to getting all of your social captions, your newsletters, your show notes, your blog posts done in minutes. This frees you up for your real passion, for building community and creating an impact with your show. And something I've been talking about with my sponsorship guide and just trying to get you your bag is that AI can help you monetize without adding a ton more work. AI dovetails in seamlessly with my Pitch Perfect sponsorship guide because it can help you make those tasks easier. AI can help you craft high converting pitches based on what you tell it about your show and your audience data. It can also help you create better premium content by structuring the bonus content that your paid subscribers are getting. It can help you figure out what works well with the episodes that you're putting out to give that optimal premium level of content to the consumers who are paying for what you're offering. AI is also masterful at repurposing content, both for monetization, but also just for your promotion. AI can turn your episodes into blog posts, like I mentioned, but it can also help you create ebooks or digital products. And if you are a funnel podcast, that is really, really, really helpful. This can help you keep your pockets lined so that you have the funds to survive, hello, eggs, but also so that you can pour that money back into causes that matter to you. And here's the real reason that I love AI. It gives me energy back. It lets me show up for my clients, for causes that matter to me, for the people in my life without being burned out. Tired people don't revolutionize, and that is the goal. By getting your energy back, you get your fire back, and you can spend the hours you reclaim doing the real work. AI lets you focus on your message, not on the grind of producing a podcast. It gives you more bandwidth to fight for what matters to you, and it makes podcasting sustainable so you don't disappear, so that you stay present, and so that your show doesn't die from pod fade. Your voice matters more now than ever. And if AI helps you keep showing up, then using it isn't just smart, it's a must. It is necessary. It's my belief that AI is absolutely the key to staying ahead with your podcast, and that the podcasters who use it the right way are going to be the ones who succeed in 2025 and beyond. Think about what you could do with those extra 10 hours a week, how it would feel if you could show up fully present in your life while still growing your podcast. If you're ready to make podcasting easier, more profitable, and more sustainable, I will see you inside Podcasting on Autopilot on February 21st. If this has you feeling fired up and ready to make your podcasting process easier, head to the show notes to snag my freebie 5 ChatGPT prompts to make podcasting effortless. That'll also put you on the waitlist for Podcasting on Autopilot. This course opens up on the 21st, and it's going to be a game changer for your podcasting workflow. In the freebie, I'm giving you a plug-and-play prompt to train ChatGPT to match your voice, an episode planning prompt to help you generate ideas for your episodes in seconds, a show notes prompt that helps you turn raw episodes into polished summaries, and a social media prompt to create engaging episode promos, and finally, a time-saving workflow prompt that simplifies your podcasting process. I hope you'll take advantage of that, and I hope that you will use these tools as part of your podcasting workflow to make things easier, to make things feel just better and more sustainable. My biggest goal with Sonivia is that podcasting feels like magic to you, and I believe that these tools can help make that a reality. That's it for today. Let's keep the conversation going over on Threads or Instagram at Sonivia Studios. Tell me which AI tool you're the most excited for and how you're currently using it. I'm also over on Blue Sky if you have chosen to head out from Meta. I'm over there at sonivia.bsky.social. And, if there's anything else that you need or any other way that I can help you, shoot me an email at rue@sonivia.com. Thank you for being part of the good. Thank you for helping me take podcasting up an octave.